look intimidating?
Alright, what's going on, guys? It's really cold in my room right now, so that's why I got the blanket and the beanie, so I can get this video recorded for you guys, because I appreciate you guys.
So much, guys.
It's Danny Brown week, and you want to know why it's Danny Brown week? Because if you go on Google Trends, Danny Brown has had an influx of searches because he's releasing a new album soon. So I figured, what better way to talk about Danny Brown than to review one of his albums? Or is it one of his albums? Because he actually made this album with Jpeg Mafia.
Mamma Mia.
It's a duo album Jpeg Mafia and Danny Brown created. It's called Scaring the Hoes. Scaring the Hoes, made in March of 2023, about 7 months ago roughly, or 8 months ago if you're watching a month from now.
My leg is itchy, bro.
Track 1, Lean Beef Patty, is not actually... The track has nothing to do with Lean Beef Patty. I mean, they don't mention her in any way, shape, or form throughout the album. Pretty cool. Wait, let me get a little representation. You hear that? The samples some kind of like early like 2000s song, and then what Jpeg Mafia does is that he like pitches up the audio and speeds it up so fast that it's you kind of don't even like hear the drums anymore. It kind of takes a back seat, so Jpeg Mafia can put his own like drum beat on top of it, which I think is really creative. I mean, I never really thought of Jpeg Mafia as like more than like a 7 out of 10 like artist.
Captain Underpants.
He's all right. He's okay. He's never made a really good album. He's never made a really bad album, but it's just really okay. Really good. Well, not really good. It's good music. But Jpeg Mafia's productions is what sells me more, just with everything in general. Because Jpeg Mafia kills it, actually crushes it on this album. Like, even track 1, like, it's just, like, so creative what he does production-wise. Mixing is kind of another thing. You're gonna notice a theme throughout the review. I think Danny Brown, you could, like, barely hear him throughout the album. It's becoming a little bit of an issue because, honestly, I want to hear more Danny Brown, but I have to actually, like, go out of my way and listen and, like, actually, like, listen carefully for Danny Brown because he's drowning from the beat. In fact...
Yeah, the beat.
Maybe his voice needs to be more isolated, but that's about it. Track 2, Steppa Pig. Let me get a little sample of this. This track kind of has these little like swaths of this like synth. I don't really know what to call it. This little thing. What is that? What is that? I don't know what to explain. I don't know how to explain that, but it sounds great. It never stops. The beat doesn't switch at all throughout the song. Jpeg Mafia does do a lot of beat switches on this album. Be the thing is this track does run a little bit long for me. It's one more verse more than I would have wanted. It's like not too much to be mad about. But besides that, it's pretty good. Track 3, the title track, pretty good. I thought it was sampling like sex. But actually it's just sampling like 3 girls going like this. Wow. Track 4, Garbage Pail Kids, samples this weird like Japanese ad, if I remember correctly. It sounds really good when the drums kick in, and Danny Brown's rapping is really creative, and you could actually hear him in this track, which I think is really good. Jpeg Mafia's verse was pretty good. I'm gonna give it to him. Danny Brown is carrying with the rapping so far, though. That's just all I gotta say. Track 5, Fentanyl Tester. Honestly, track 5 is my favorite track off this entire album, second only to track 6, Perfect, because it samples the NFL like football like little trumpet thing orchestra they do at the beginning of like their Super Bowl. Really nice track, honestly. Danny Brown's verse goes pretty hard. Jpeg Mafia just bring a lot to the table with the production. Everything about the production is great. I love the production on this album so far. Track 7, Shut Your Bitch. And Muddy Waters. Gotta love that beat switch because he takes like that little noise and turns it into a part of the beat for the beat switch. It sounds super nice, really, the production. And then Jpeg Mafia's verse, one of my favorite Jpeg Mafia verses like so far just throughout his discography. Muddy Waters, the Jpeg Mafia's verse just mixes perfectly with the instrumental. I'm out of breath. It's a great track. Honestly, it's my 3rd favorite. 5, 6, and 7 are just perfect tracks. You need to listen to those. 8, Orange Juice Jones. I forgot what song they samples, but I love like halfway through the track it goes like this one girl like stops throughout the song and does this little noise. Let me that noise, love that noise. I hated it at first, but it's ingrained in my skull now and I can't get it out. It's just like the Rosetta Stone. It's buried in there and I can't get it out no matter what. Track 8. Wait, is this track 8? This is track 8. Track 9. Kingdom Hearts key. Gotta love that sample. It samples like, I think, some like anime intro. That's what I'm getting from it, because like I can't understand. I like, usually you can make out a few words to the sample, but this is definitely some different language, so I'm assuming it's a, you know, it's Kingdom Hearts. It's gotta be like, wait, is Kingdom Hearts Disney?
You stupid.
I don't know. It's some kind of Japanese kind of sample. He's already done this before though, so it's like minus points on creativity. Gotta do something different, man. You don't have to, but I would like it. But the track goes really hard. Jpeg Mafia's verse, really good. Danny Brown's verse, really good. Really good. Mixing, a little bit not in his favor. It's just throughout the album. Danny Brown, he either needs to speak with his chest or they need to mix him properly, because sometimes I can barely hear him. And the Red Veil feature on this, pretty nice. He goes actually really hard. One of my favorite Red Veil verses that he's ever done, besides his Learn to Swim album. He had some pretty great tracks off that. Track 10, God Loves You. That passes, that little thing right at the end. It's just, the whole entire track goes hard. That sample with like the drums, and then that, like, it's like, I don't know if Jpeg Mafia did the drums or if like he got a sample for the drums, but it's crazy just how like impactful like it just sounds. It sounds like when you're like writing a document and you want people to like understand what you're saying, so you write down a certain word in bold. This track is like the bold of this album. This John is bold. This John is bold. Track 11, Run the Jewels, little 1 minute little snippet. Jpeg Mafia, pretty good rapping. Danny Brown comes in with a verse, pretty nice. Not really much to say about it. It's pretty good. It's only a minute though. Honestly, if they had like more time, it's just like would have been something pretty nice. Jack Harlow Combo Meal. That's the actual name of the track. The actual name of the track is Jack Harlow Combo Meal. Barely about Jack Harlow. They mention him once, and it's like you fellows let Jack Harlow sell your chicken. But it's for a limited time. What a great price. Pretty good track. Track 13, Ho, Heaven on Earth. Let me remind myself what this sounds like. I didn't really like this track all that much. Honestly, it's kind of mid, because it falls into the mid territory for me. At the very end of the track though, there's this nice little like passage of this different sample of like, he will not suffer, and then the beat kicks in right at the end. They don't rap on it or anything, but if that was a full song, that would make this song so much better if that was the sample. I just feel like that would have been a much better song if they worked with that sample right at the end, because it sounds really good. Track 14, the final track. Where you get your coke from? Really crazy, like, what is it, tenor sax or normal saxophone that they play right like at every time like the beat drops. It's super cool. It's just like really like high energy. Like you'd think they like end off the album with like something a little bit more, you know, personal or something a little bit more like calm. That's not the case at all. High energy throughout the whole entire album from start to finish. Not a slow moment besides maybe Orange Juice Jones. But yeah, track 14 is really good. Honestly, it's my favorite. It's my fourth favorite track, because I like track 5. I like track 4, 5, and 6 more. But track 14 is my fourth favorite because it's really good and you should give it a listen. So that's about it. I mean, for sound, I'm gonna give this album 4 stars. 4 stars on sound, because the production on this thing is pretty crazy. Honestly, Jpeg Mafia, it's his most creative album yet. I'm pretty sure he made this with like some old like looping machine that he bought. Forgot exactly what it is. I'll put it up on screen. But sound, I'm gonna give that 4 stars. I guess I'm not really doing this in order, huh? Pacing, not really much to complain about on pacing, you know? I'm just gonna give pacing 4 stars because... One second. What is that? What is that? That was the Rosetta Stone! Pacing, nothing really too unoffensive about pacing. All the lyrics kind of hit. Everything was just kind of nice, flowed super nice. Maybe Run the Jewels could have been a little bit longer, so I'm thinking like 3 stars on pacing. And overall vibe, I mean, really cool. I mean, there was no set theme. I know everything kind of like was supposed to sound like really kind of retro because it was made on this old machine, but I didn't really get that because of those new samples, so it's kind of all over the place. So I'm thinking 3 stars on vibe. So 3 stars on pacing, 4 stars on sound, and 3 stars on vibe. Scaring the Hoes by Danny Brown and Jpeg Mafia is a 3.5 star album. Now get out of my sight!